Hello everyone, and welcome back to Lotus Path Holistics. This is Let's Be Honest with Leo and Luna. We are a spiritual life podcast where we talk about spiritual life and spiritual education and mix all the truth together for you guys to learn and enjoy. Today we'll be talking about mastering manifestation. So my name is Leo. I am a past life therapist and energy reader, also spiritual educator. So I love bringing knowledge to you guys and discussing it with you all. And it's one of my passions and it's great. So.
And I'm Luna. Hi, everybody. I hope you have a beautiful Friday, a beautiful weekend. I'm a karmic resolution facilitator and I help my soul clients to solve their trauma, their karma, limiting beliefs, and conditioning across lifetimes to this lifetime.
Yes, indeed. So this week we're talking about manifestation. We're talking about spiritual gifts all throughout the next 6 weeks. Last week we talked about actually awakening spiritual gifts. And we talked about how there are inner gifts and outer gifts. Now, inner gifts are the gifts within you, and they're the gifts that you manifest within you to then sort of like determine your perception outside. But outer gifts are the gifts that affect people. They're the gifts that are physical. They're the gifts that are out there actually making a difference in people's lives that literally come out of your hands. So those are the different types of gifts. We're going to talk about the first inner gift, which is creativity, which then leads to manifestation. So understanding manifestation is an interesting topic in the spiritual community. And we love to be able to show you guys our perspective so that you could understand quite what manifestation is really about. And manifestation itself does come from a place, so we're going to describe that to you and help you grow throughout that process. So creativity as a gift, as we had described in last week's video and this week's video as well, is actually a gift that everyone shares. It's a natural gift that we all come about. So creativity expresses itself in cooking, it expresses itself in art and painting, drawing. You can express yourself in many different ways, but creativity is an expression of the self. And you use this expression of yourself to then show your gifts. You know, creativity can show itself in many ways, but it also leads towards these benefits and these gifts within, which include a enlightened perspective, actually balancing yourself out, clarity and focus within you, actually getting all these things out on paper. Creativity could even be writing.
Yeah.
You know, so lots of different things about creativity. And it is a gift that everyone shares. And it's all something that's natural. And how we understand that is also the opposite, destruction. And creativity also has to do with destructive nature. And definitely we can talk about that now because we know a lot in our history and also in our practice that with the positive, there's also negative. So let's talk about creativity as a gift and how that actually can turn in a negative sense. You might not think you're creative, but sometimes you might see it in your destructive nature.
Definitely. And the thing is that some people might just say, you know, I am not creative. And I feel like as we talked in the previous podcast, we talked about how creativity is only, I guess, people, it's only been perceived and people keep saying that it's only about, you know, literally like artistic nature. And it is not like that. So we spoke about the previous podcast how cooking is creative. Anything that you do in your life, writing, even, you know, housework, like cleaning, you know, or doing your dishes, you are being creative as far as you're putting your energy into something. And most of the times using your hands, or especially because when you're using your hands, it's physically bringing energy down to your physical body and place it in items. So it could be just like Leo's holding his cup now. He, you know, that is being creative. Even if he hasn't created yet, there's something that cup that we just made earlier, tea, and making tea is also already a creative process. So by brewing our own tea, you know, we are already creators.
That's true. And using that creative force is going to be very key to understanding manifestation because with manifestation, you're creating changes. So that's why you have to manifest, you have to finish your creativity so you can actually manifest. So creativity, it is an inner creative nature. It's a soul nature that we all embrace. And it is about the power of the creator that we are. So we're all creators. We create everything every day, We create change, we create bad things and good things. But it's all about that creative nature. And to talk about destruction is that curse of creativity. It is a cursed gift, or just a curse in general. It's something a lot of people don't want to talk about because I see everyone like, oh, let's be creative and stuff. But the truth is, if you want to embrace your spirituality, sometimes you just have to get into your destructive nature. And sometimes to really get into who you are, you have to break down the walls and be destructive sometimes. To have such a gentle hand at everything doesn't really cause a lot of change, does it? Don't we notice in our world today that when you want to make the most significant changes, it happens in the hardest times where things are just being destroyed left and right in your life? When someone passes away, it causes super big changes. When you lose a job, suddenly you find the creativity to start something new. That's what creativity does. It is a gift that manifests sometimes out of the most destructive situations in your life. So understanding destructiveness and the curse of destruction actually helps you with your creativity. It is very much, in my opinion, key to understanding manifestation. Because before you even get into manifestation and wanting to manifest things, you also have to understand that you can unmanifest things as well. You can accidentally, because I see this a lot, where people actually are like, I'm going to focus on my money, my status, I'm going to focus on my relationship, and it's going to bring and manifest changes in that arena. Well, sometimes when you're focusing on that too harsh, you can be ignoring something at home. Let's say that you have a family member or a friend who wants your focus and you're not focusing on them. And then by creating this focus on yourself, you can be talking deep within and then suddenly ignore that person, almost destroying your friendship. So you can destroy something while trying to create something. And sometimes even people could argue, if you're creating, you are destroying. They go one and the same.
That's true. I mean, I remember, again, in the previous podcast, when we talk about how children go, at the beach, and then they create those sand castles, and then they just go around like, okay, now I'm done, and now I kick it. They just kick it and just make a mess. And I also feel that this is a huge part that is being ignored when we grow up, because we only think just manifest, create. But what about the part that we have to perhaps destroy something? And destroying is not a bad thing, because we can recreate something, reinvent something, and take that energy and not just necessarily make something new, but evolve of what already is. For example, when I'm painting sometimes and there's something that I don't like, I might just grab, paint and just kind of like throw it on the top of what it is. And then I can just improve by using, let's say, my fingers, right? I can use even a toothpick, just creating new things on the top of what that is already. And that distraction of the old painting that I created and the energy that I put into the new one, it brings a completely new piece. And then I'm like, okay, this is exactly what feels in alignment right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Because destruction is key to understanding creation. So I feel that, with manifestation and also with creative teaching, you have to learn that with creation comes destruction. So if you're teaching someone to paint, you are taking a perfectly beautiful white canvas and you're just messing it up to create art. So creation and destruction go together. And understanding that duality is so key to manifestation, which we're going to talk about very soon. If you don't understand your creative nature, manifesting is almost, in my opinion, incomplete. Because then you don't understand that when you create change, you're taking it from somewhere else. Nothing is just brand new. Like when you manifest signs from birds and you manifest signs from clouds or something, that cloud came from somewhere and it's just moving this way and taking away, like shade from somewhere else. You have to understand that everything is connected. And that's the way that actual creativity works.
I mean, think about it when you're like, hey, I need a new job. It's just like, and you have that opportunity where that shows up in your work, like, oh my God, I just manifested a new job. Think though, that someone lost their job before you, and you have an open position, for you to be able to apply to the new position. And so there has been a destructive process for us, for manifestation and creativity to go forth. And then, I mean, and then think about it when you're talking about relationships and love. You're like, oh, if only I met, my soulmate. Well, that soulmate, even if he eventually, or he or she eventually came up from somewhere, right? Even if you're single for a long time, there used to be in a relationship, there used to be a destructive part where they broke up and now they're ready to be in that relationship with you. So as you see, creation and destruction go hand in hand for manifestation to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. So then let's move on to talking about manifestation. So the power of manifestation comes from creativity. It's our creative nature, our creative soul consciousness, which we talked about last week. And manifestation is the ability to turn your thoughts into reality. It comes from sort of like a creational mind, a higher mind as well. And it is similar to the law of attraction, similar to that, because it is about actually embracing your power as a creator and then actually attracting things that you think. That is creating change and manifesting things in your reality. And also, mastering this ability to create what you desire means that you actually are talking to your consciousness and then doing something about it, awakening that consciousness inside of you, so that you could actually take your conscious awareness of something and then manifest it in your real life. Sometimes, well, actually all the time, what you focus on does become reality. And that is the power of manifestation. That power comes from your creative nature. And we've seen this so much in our work. And we sat down, we started talking about it before I even created the video. And I was thinking and asking Luna, well, what is creativity in any way than, manifesting things from our own hands and our own minds? So it's all about that nature and understanding that manifestation is definitely key to definitely bringing change in your life and creating that change. So we are Past Life Therapists. We're going to talk to you about actually what it means for manifestation in past lives versus the current life. And also our opinions about, manifestation doctrines and understanding the way that people think and how they manifest. We'll tell you also our opinion about what's the good, what's the bad, what's the successful, and what's the not successful sort of model of what creation is about. So, past lives. I have seen many, many past lives, and I've understood that manifestation comes in a different form in past lives. It's very different from this lifetime. In past lives, we have a very clear connection to our creative consciousness. So if we wanted to create forms of nature or change the weather or do things like that, it's more possible in a past life. If we wanted to turn into an animal, or if we wanted to create love or a loving connection with somebody, it's very possible in past lives. It's different from this life. And we all know that. We all imagine these things that are completely out of bounds in this world, flying around and, doing stuff that you could never think that you could do, even like be invisible or just superpowers. We call them superpowers. But in past lives, those things are real. And there's this big existential reason as to why that's true. But it's like manifestation itself. Manifestation itself is very much alive in our past life and in our memory. So I do see that when people actually talk about manifestation, how they really want something to happen, it's a mixture of a lot of things in today's world. It's a mixture of your soul contract. It's a mixture of your decisions. It's a mixture of the fact that whatever you think becomes reality. It's a mixture of a lot of things. But that's my past life perspective.
Well, there's quite a lot that that is happening with manifestation. There is I would just say a big part is imagination, where children, they have a huge imagination and they say, oh, I can fly, or I can just talk to spirits that you can't even see. There's like a different forms of imagination, and that's the step one for creativity, and manifestation. And I mean, the kids sometimes they're not super aware that it cannot fly in this lifetime, for example, but they still like have it in mind how to achieve it in some sort of way, in a safe way. I mean, with the guidance of the parents, right? But they remember. So that imagination is memories that they do have. And so when we grow up, they say, I mean, our society, our family, our community, they say, oh, just imagination, and it doesn't really belong, into your daily life, because some people, become daydreamers, and then they say you just get lost for too long in the process. But imagination is the first step of creativity. And imagination is connected with many, a big part where they say vision boards, and people use them like quite a lot. So if you want to manifest something, you need to kind of like see it in your mind first, and then they won't much use the word imagination. They say see it in your mind first, just use beautiful photos, use kind of like words, and the more that you see it every day in front of you, the more you are in that mentality. So let's say you want to go to Hawaii, right, and just live there, and then you just get photos of Hawaii, and just you have your dream house, your dream boyfriend or girlfriend, and just write nice stuff. Say, oh, I am there in 3 months. Not even I'm going to be, I am there. So this creates I would just say, how do you say it? It creates, I would just say, a specific mindset where when you see it every day, it becomes reality. And so this is when it manifests.
Well, absolutely.
But we'll talk about it, though, why this is not always working. So we're going to talk about it later, right, Emilio?
Yeah, which is true. Okay. But yeah, today's world, I think it's true. So it's like... imagination, especially with children, especially in our world, is just past life memories in a weird way. So when you want to manifest, you want to basically manifest what you remember. And it's different in this world, because in this world we live in a strange and more downgraded reality. And, a lot of people call it like a matrix, and a lot of people call it, like a prison planet, but there's lots of reasons which we'll get into discussion in future lives about that.
Let's make a podcast seriously about it.
Oh yeah, we have ideas where we want to actually create a podcast for that type of reality, and almost explaining what the world is all about. Yep. From our perspective, because we've seen the past and the present, so we'll show you all about that. But manifestation in past lives, super open. This lifetime, it's more about understanding the basics of the fact that if you focus, things do come in your way, because you start to attract it with conscious intention. So it's very key to understanding your manifesting abilities, and then using your creativity to actually get there. Because you can, think about it. What you can create is what you can, to the limit of what you can imagine, right? If you think that you can only create nothing but, chaos, then you create nothing but chaos. If you think you can only make a bowl of cereal in the kitchen, then that's really all you can make. But if you think that you are a chef, you might not be a 5-star chef, but your mind opens to the possibilities. And then you start to create avenues to get there. And how you do that is the capabilities of your mind and what you think. And if you think of yourself and you imagine nothing better for yourself, then you cannot manifest anything. So it's you really have to get deep within your imagination, and also deep within your inner world, and understand that because creativity is an inner gift, you're only as creative as if you think you are. If you think you're not creative, you're not creative. And that's the problem. So like in the world of manifestation today, and there are many teachers out there, many gurus, and manifestation itself only really works if your conscious intention is actually really there. You have to be conscious of what you want, and you have to almost like see yourself. And we're going to explain that in my 3 tips, and then Luna's going to give her tips on how to actually manifest in the proper way. But mastering manifestation I mean, manifesting things works, but mastering manifestation, doing it in a way that you can manifest exactly what you want. You can manifest change that's productive in your life. That's what mastering manifestation is all about. To do that, you actually have to know where it comes from, know who you are, and do all these things, which we're going to outline for you. But from the past to the present, my opinion is that with my tips, which you'll understand soon, it's about understanding then, your connection to the past, which very key is understanding your perception of yourself and your like imagination, what you think is possible. That's your gateway to the past, and then you can use that to actually bring forth new changes in your life. So lots of different gifts, lots of different things to talk about. So my steps that I outlined on Wednesday is that there are 3 basic steps that I can outline, I can understand on actually how to manifest your own desires. And it can be anything. It could be really like money and status and love. It's all about bringing that to you and how to actually manifest that and master it. Well, number 1 is about knowing exactly who you are. And we're well versed in that because we're past life therapists and also life coaches and mentors and educators. And we've seen firsthand that when you actually start to change your life and find out exactly who you are, your life changes for the better. You don't even have to try. When you know exactly who you are, that is manifesting change. Because as soon as you know who you are, it opens doorways. So when I started learning past lives, my life started to change just very drastically. Because who I thought I was and what I think I was changing all the time. So it transformed my reality. So what I was focusing on was no longer how do I fit in with society. What I started to focus on now that I was exploring past lives is I'm focusing on who I can be and who I was before and then reclaiming that now. That itself manifested so much change for me personally. So I can definitely vouch for the fact that past life therapy, karmic resolution, and understanding how the past affects the present and how the present gets to the future, that truly is, it really does help it manifest like your true desires. And we're going to talk about that because that like manifestation is like, it's key to that self-discovery and that journey there. So when you know yourself and you actually get out there, you can actually lift up your entire life. So what do you think about that?
The thing is that people say, I want to know who I am. And that requires quite a lot of, I would just say, research and understanding who you are away from your environment. And this is like a very, very basic thing because people try to define themselves through others and through the situations that they have been through. For example, define themselves through trauma, define themselves through their culture, their country, their family, the job that they have, and everything that is around them. They try to define as like, oh, for example, if I don't know, I work like for a pet place, right? That maybe my soul calling is just, loving animals. Yeah. But it is not just that. It could be a part of it, but not all of it. And so when you define yourself as, for example, I'm Greek, right? And so I say, well, part of it is Greece. But yet, I define myself through the group of Greeks, but know what Greek means to me. And if I do that, this is quite a lot of I miss out as a person. And so I also define, because I've been many, many times in Japan in my past lives, and I was kind of like not really acknowledging it. I just say, oh, in my past lives I've been. But the moment I started embracing it, I started connecting with the right people. And so knowing exactly who I am and not just one thing, we can be multifaceted. So you could just be this, and that. 50 things that you are. And you start connecting the dots. And it is when you realize where you came from. Because technically, what happens with past lives is you connect the dots. Mm-hmm. You say, so I had, let's say, 100 past lives. You might not even like regress all of them. I mean, I know that me and Leo have done like quite a lot of work about it. But there are some major themes in our lives. So what exactly we did in past lives? What is the major theme around? And so in this lifetime, I cannot fully say, I would do this, and that. I will have my wings and fly like in past lives, but I can still take a plane, just like go places.
Yeah.
So take that thought process and just break, I would just say, free from the conditioning of right now. There's so many things I cannot do, but there are a lot of things that I actually can. And so this is where I'm going to be focusing on.
That's true.
And that's how you define who you are. Not by what you cannot do, but what you can do.
That's true. Because even when you explore past lives, like as we explore different traumas, even in this life, it changes everything. So it's understanding that first step is knowing who you are. So whatever journey you need to take to find out who you are, you got to take that journey. Just like whatever it takes, even just traveling somewhere so that you can actually feel free from, the burdens of home, or getting out and learning something new. Just like whatever it takes to find you. When you find you, it really changes everything. And that is, to me, that key to manifesting. Is that first step to manifesting your desires, because you can't get anywhere if you don't know exactly who you are. How could you know what you want if you don't know who you are? And I've learned this in my personal journeys and also other people's journeys. It's just the same. So understanding that from the past life perspective, it's the same thing as well. Because as you explore who you are, your whole reality changes. Why? Because your soul consciousness, it changes your reality as you change. The faster you change, the faster reality changes. So it's not only about like, when I focus on this, I'm going to manifest $5 right now. Not necessarily. It's really about then understanding, this is who I am. I can get that $5. I deserve that $5. You open up the potential for it. And rather than bring it to you, the law of attraction, I feel, should be then open up the door to it. Not, I want that money to come to me, or I want that man to come to me, and I want that love to come to me. Then it's not about that. Then it's about, I'm going to open my door to that, open my door to this, open my consciousness to that, because those are possibilities. And everything is a possibility. Nothing is a non-possibility. When you change the way you think, which is basically changing who you are, it just opens up the doors. And I call that the beginning of manifestation. You take what you think you can do, your creative nature as well, and you open up the doors to what you think you are. Because if you find out that you're worthy, suddenly your life changes, where you start to manifest things that you're worthy of. If you think you're not worthy, and you think that you don't deserve love or status or even a new home, you'll never get it. Because you don't think so. You don't think you're worthy of it. But you got to know that you are. You got to know exactly who you are. And who you are is you're worthy. So simple things like that. But to backscale to the conversation, actually, because about this lifetime, when it comes to manifestation, it's difficult, but not impossible. But at the same time, it takes more than just thinking about something and allowing it to happen. I mean, that works to a point, because you are turning your entire soul, you're turning your journey. But I want to explain something in this lifetime that is different, because manifestation can get misunderstood. Sometimes it's just your soul contract. So it could be just prophesizing. Like, you do that. Like, sometimes she's like, I do that too. So like recently, there's like this job offer that I was going to get, right? And it was a Sunday. And we were, I think, in another city right next to ours. And I was thinking, oh, tomorrow I'm going to have, this money is dropping from the sky, and I could just feel it tomorrow. And you would think, just listening to me saying, he's manifesting it by talking about it. It happened because he talked about it, but it only happened because I saw it coming, because I just prophesized it. And sometimes we talk things into existence. It could be just that we know it's going to happen. We can see our soul contracts, or aka the Akashic records, and we can see what's going to happen because we know it happened in past life, it's going to happen in this life. So there's a difference. There's a difference between manifesting, and there's a difference between knowing what's going to happen. So you can't really get that confused. So if you have this inner knowing, here's, I think, the difference. Like, if you have this inner knowing and you know what's going to happen, you just talk it, and then it happens like the next day, I call it more of like an intuition thing we're going to talk about next week. But when you see something that needs a change, and you know that there's these destructive characteristics to your life that need fixing, you have to create changes. You have to create fixes to it. So that could be where it's like, my home is a mess. I really need someone who really knows how to build things and stuff like that. That's because you need it. So you create the changes that you need to fix that home, because it's based in creativity and destruction. So usually when you're talking about actually manifesting things, it's manifesting creative things to fix what is broken. That is usually what manifestation is. If it is about, well, just things that happen. I'm just manifesting that guy's going to walk across the street because I'm thinking about these things. You could just be just prophesizing. You could just be foretelling it. So there's a very clear difference. And in my opinion, you just have to know the difference. If something is about creativity and you as a creator, creation versus destruction. If the topic is about you fixing things, you bringing balance to things, and you finding enlightenment, or you focusing on things and bringing your focus to a new age or something like that, that's usually manifestation, because you're manifesting changes in your life just based on your conscious intention. And just knowing that difference is super complex, but from my perspective, that's exactly how it works. You never really know what you're doing, but if you know what it's about, creativity and destruction, that's, in my opinion, manifestation.
Yeah, it makes so much sense. And there's so many things about manifestation where what is it and what is it not. And so people just try, I've heard quite a lot that people try to define manifestation according to what is happening to their lives right now. So for example, someone says, oh, I need a job, or I need I don't know, more money, or I need, a lover or whatever, but there's no specifics to it. And so you got a problem in your hands. So all the time, you can't just say, oh, do you remember the post, Leo? with the slippers? That was like on Facebook. I remember that very well. And so someone tagged me. I know it's funny, but someone's like, I just want slippers. And then out of the door, there was like 100 like pairs of them. And they're like, I really didn't ask for it. And so and like, you have to know who you are in order to know what you want and what you want to manifest. And so if I say right now,
manifest just trash.
Right? Like, and that's true. Just like, oh, hey, I want to manifest like an amazing boyfriend. I don't even say what it is. And then, I don't know, there's a prisoner that shows up outside my door. I'm like, it's not what I really wanted. I just want a boyfriend. But hey, I'm available.
So I agree. 100%.
It's funny, but it's true. And we've done that before. Like, remember Leo when I would never forget. That was really funny. So Leo's like, I really need money right now. It was like a really time were like really bad. And then we were walking and there was like a dime on the floor. I'm like, hey, Leo, money. He's like, this is not enough. I'm like, well, the universe sent you money because you didn't specify what you want. And I'm like, and then we're laughing about it. We said, well, manifestation fail. But that's how you learn, though, by trial and error. You see what exactly works, what exactly doesn't work. And, that's how you bring things together. But, yeah, the thing is that you need to know exactly what you want. And once you know exactly what you want, you put it out there, and then you create the image in your head. And we're not talking about putting yourself in a box, saying, oh, like, for example, I want, like, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, to be tall and have, like, black hair and blue eyes and be thin or be like a doctor. Like, put, like, so many details, and in the end, like, you put yourself in a box and you have, like, expectations. There's a difference between expectations and just being open to whatever comes your way, but still trying to manifest. It sounds a little bit complicated, but you definitely have to go by trial and error. That's it. That's how we did it.
Yeah, which we'll talk about in the next tip. But it's true. Yeah, knowing who you are is key to manifesting, because you'll manifest things in your life based on who you are at that moment. So if you're like you said, if you're manifesting a boyfriend, you're manifesting a trash boyfriend. But if you come to a point that you are treasure, then you're going to manifest a treasure boyfriend. So it's really key. Step 1, know who you are. If you don't know who you are, you have no idea what you're manifesting. You could be manifesting trash. You could be manifesting dimes and nickels versus hundreds of dollars. You have to know who you are. It's key. So let's start with that.
Yeah.
Number 2 is about discovering exactly what you want, which we're discussing. You have to know exactly what your desire is. You got to know what you want, who you are, but you got to know what you want. And like you said, trial and error.
Yep.
The process of finding yourself, you will make so many mistakes in the process. Like, so many mistakes. And that's just common. You have to stand up and realize that there is no mistake. There is no accident in your life. Every mistake is a lesson learned, right? Every bad relationship, every bad job, lesson learned, lesson learned, lesson learned. So you want to discover what you're capable of and then find out what you want in your life based on those lessons. And the things that go wrong, like the mistakes that happen, those truly reveal who you really are. But then they also show you what exactly you want. Once you learn what you don't want, you find out what you do want. And with that trial and error in your life and making those mistakes, you find that. So discovering exactly what you want, like you said, if you don't have the right question, you won't get what you want. The same works with psychic readings, past life therapy, tarot readings.
Yep.
You don't know what you want, you'll never get your answer because you have to know. It's about your conscious intention. You have to know. So it's very key.
I remember talking about discover your true desires, right? I'm just gonna say another example. So you understand through our examples how kind of like we took different steps to manifestation and to be where we are today. There was like, I think 3 years ago, and it was like the closest to, I would just say, to the first time that I actually was manifesting what I wanted. And then I will tell you what happened after that. So I said, I was working for luxury retail at that time, and the company was not really my environment. And I said, I want to find a similar job, but through a referral, and kind of like through a referral where I know someone from my environment who can actually suggest me to the place that it is a good place. And so somehow Leo had this friend of his. And so she was looking for someone for the place, that she was a manager. Mm-hmm. And so they're like, we have a very good position, so Luna could just go there. I'm like, hey, I manifested it. Yay! That was like really exciting because I got an environment almost what I wanted to. It was still luxury retail at that point, and it was still through referral. But what happened is that the company closed. And like a year later, and I'm like, well, I should have maybe said that the company will stay, open for quite some time, So I just said I want to be through referral, but I was not more specific. That was it. I manifested it, but financial crisis, a little bit, remember, before COVID, and then COVID happened, and then boom, there goes the company, gone. And there goes my job. So I'm like, okay. That was manifestation to a point, but that really didn't work out either. So It was like a really good one. But then we had like to review everything. Like, okay, maybe we need to be more specific next time what we're looking for.
Yeah. So this second step is also key in, finding out exactly what you want, like with work and aspirations and education. So this is the reason why when you go to college and you spend time getting to know different things, you learn a lot of things that you don't like, but that one thing that you do like is the one thing that you really find out what you want to do with your life. So let's say you have all these classes and the only thing you care about is physics. Well, then you found out that you like physics, and what you should be doing and what you actually want to do is become a physicist, or you want to be a physics teacher. So those things happen with the trial and error, and going throughout life and trying things out helps you.
You know why I'm laughing? Because you're through college and then you're like, I want to become a physicist, so you need to manifest money to get another degree.
Yeah, that's true.
So there goes.
Very much. So it's just manifestation. So let's move on to the third one, which is the third and final step.
This is my favorite, by the way, the third one.
Yeah, what I find the third step is about focusing your passions on your objective and then taking actions and making a move. So this final step, we have knowing who you are, knowing what you want, and then doing something about it. That's the 3 steps to manifesting. There's a lot of different doctrines out there about how to manifest, but this is basic. I'm just explaining. This is basically how you manifest anything. Even if you manifest just, inspiration to cook a good dish in your kitchen. If you manifest just a friend at Starbucks, like just something simple, manifesting just, a good connection on Facebook. Something like that happens when you actually take action. You have to know who you are, know what you want, and then take action. Do something about it, basically. And because I find that too often when people want to start manifesting things in their life, they just think just by saying it or thinking it, it's supposed to happen. There's it's reverse psychology, which is the problem. Because when you're thinking about money for a long period of time, you will start to gravitate towards things that cause money to happen. So like, well, money, and then you'll find yourself in front of a bank like, ooh, money. Because your mind is leading you, your physical body, towards the bank. So it happens like that. Things don't just find you sometimes. It's usually your actions that actually lead there and you have no idea. It's subconscious. I believe that's the magic that people believe in manifestation and the law of attraction. Is that if you think about it and you start to focus your life around it, it suddenly just happens. But not actually. It's about the actions that you take. You'll notice that your subconscious actions led in that direction. So it's about you leading your physical body to do stuff, And it's, for instance, like, I want to manifest a boyfriend. I want to manifest love, this and that. Well, when you keep thinking it, you start making yourself emotionally available and you start looking very confident. When you walk down the street, you feel sexy and suddenly men are walking up to you because you are taking actions. You don't know it. You don't think it, that you're doing it, but you are taking actions. So if you think about that, then why not take those actions into your own hands? If you know that your actions lead towards all these reactions, then you can sort of shortcut manifesting, not just thinking, not just feeling, but knowing who you are and then moving forward to take the action that you need to take. So it's about making that move and taking that action next in your life. So yeah, focusing your passions on your objective, actually focusing on what you want to do and doing it, and taking your spiritual passion and making it happen, for sure.
Well, the 2 things, because these 2 things have been talked a lot. And so in the beginning we talked about having a vision board. Vision board is cute. Right? It's pretty. I would say that. But that itself won't manifest a damn thing, I will tell you that. I've done that.
It's true.
I've done that, just like creating a beautiful board and say, one day I'm just gonna leave Greece, I'm just gonna travel to different countries. What happened? But when I stopped staring at the damn board and I did something about it,
Yeah, because it's almost like visions board, they help you focus on it's almost like
they give you inspiration,
Yeah, but it can also get obsessive where you're just thinking. Like if you just make a wallpaper on your screen in your computer and make it money, like, I've done that.
You thought I was about to say that?
I've done that. I'm guilty. But, when you make it money and then you just keep seeing it, and then you start to, in your regular day life, start to look at things that look like that. That's what vision boards do, in my opinion. Because, like, if you have a vision board of a beach where you want to be on a beach, well, then, if you keep looking at that for 10 days straight, you're going to see nothing but vacation ads. So, vision boards, yes. So it's
and then the ads, right?
Exactly. So, it really is, it's all about what you're focusing on. So, what you see is actually just, what you've been focusing on. So, if you create a vision board, then you will see exactly what's on that vision board. And then that's that part of manifestation. But it like you said, it inspires you to take action. And then you suddenly start taking actions that have to do with your vision board. You have to see that there's this sequence of events that leads towards your manifestation. And it's about taking your passions and all the things that you're inspired by and making that action. Taking that action. Putting your money where your mouth is and all that, and just taking that first step. So my opinion and my advice is reclaim all that passion, focus on it, don't wait, just do it. Just do it, because that's how manifestation works anyway. So your steps are to know who you are, find out what you want, and then go do it. Because that's exactly what manifestation does anyway. And if you hone that ability, you take that power, you realize that your creative nature can lead towards manifesting anything you want in your life. As long as you know exactly who you are, exactly what you want, and then take that and make that happen.
But affirmations, do you?
Yeah, affirmations is part of that too.
I've done that too. I'm super guilty. I've just done. I had an affirmation app and I was very reliant on it. I just wrote my own affirmations. I was sleeping on them. Like I did that. I was just staring on the phone, falling asleep on it. I'm like, it's gonna work in my subconscious. And I was just hoping things to happen. But it didn't really happen. I was like, why this thing is not working? What am I doing wrong with this affirmation? Because, well, it was not what I really wanted to. It was just, I guess, an idea. Because then I realized, I'm like, this is not what I really want, And then the other thing was, it was not really aligning with my soul purpose. So it's something that I've never done before in my past life. So my journey would just make no sense.
Yeah.
And third of all, I was not really taking action. I was just looking at it like, yeah, I affirm this is going to happen. And it was not happening. Like in the beginning of my business, I did that a lot. I say, I'm going to track my soul client. Look at my watch. Where's my soul client? Nowhere. If I didn't go out there to connect with you people and just talk, get to know you.
Yeah.
Nothing would have happened. I would just be waiting on this damn affirmation and, on the vision board. Oh, okay, well, because it's just their visuals and just, just reading it or hearing the affirmation. Maybe it is going to happen. If you don't take action, nothing is going to happen. You need to open those doors. Yeah. As Leo said. Yep.
That makes total sense. Even when you go because there's many different types of gurus and mentors that do manifestation classes. And a lot of them are our friends, and they're really, really good and talented. But it also, it's proven in the way that you do it, because when you join different groups for manifestation, you're taking an action to join it. So if you never took the action, you would never be in the space where you would be learning how to manifest anything. Without the action, you get nowhere. Manifestation doesn't come to you. You go do it.
Yep.
So that's the key to manifesting. It's the same as creating. When you want to create art, you go do it. If you want to destroy something, you do it. So it's about that action. Turning the idea into action is manifesting anything. Manifestation is turning your thoughts into reality.
Yep.
But deep down, you can turn any thought into reality. I can turn an idea of picking up this cup into picking up this cup. Simple as that. So if you apply these simple principles to manifesting your truest desires, find out what your desire is, take action. It's as simple as that, because that brings out the spirituality in you, the spiritual gift to create anything you want. You are a creator. You can create anything, any path you want, you can do it all. Manifesting is at your fingertips. As long as you understand that you as a creator, you as a person create anything, any change, you can do it. And there's nothing stopping you except you knowing exactly who you are, you knowing exactly what you want, and then having the balls and the courage to take action. And that's my last advice. Yeah.
Go to Hawaii, start connecting with Hawaiian people.
Yeah.
Just don't just read the information or just look at the vision board. It's pretty bad. You need to take a step to get there. So, for example, just, get to know Hawaiian people. That would be an action, right?
There you go. That's manifestation. So mastering manifestation is very much understanding where it comes from, which creativity, and understanding how to do it, which is very natural to all of us. So it was definitely wonderful talking to you guys today. Yeah, there were a little bit of technical difficulties with Facebook and Facebook Live, which we're going to solve throughout the week and solve next week. But this video, as you're watching, it's uploaded on Facebook. It's going to be uploaded on YouTube as well for you to watch afterwards, so you can get our advice and opinions about manifestation. Leave us comments and any questions that you have, and we'll ask tonight and tomorrow, and we'll answer all your questions. I know you guys had a lot of questions about this. So yeah, Facebook, be on our side. Manifest it. And hey, and that's itself what happened. Facebook wasn't cooperative. And we were manifesting manifestation. What did we do? We just did it. We just took action. We just did it. We just we're just going to record it then, because it has to happen. So if you want to manifest the change that you need, take the action. I know what I want. I wanted to do a podcast. I know exactly what I'm doing. I know who I am. So I took action. And that's simple. Manifestation. Manifestation. Very simple. Very key to understanding your creative nature. And I hope this helped you guys. So I can't wait to answer your questions on Facebook and YouTube. And it was wonderful talking to you guys today.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. And we're looking forward to next week.
Yes, so we're going to talk about intuition, so don't miss it. We'll definitely be on Facebook.
Have a beautiful Friday and a beautiful weekend.
Yes. Bye, guys.
Mwah.